This is Moving Mad in Medicine, hosted by Monel.
Hi, I am Monel, a doctor trying to make sense of medicine without losing myself in the process. And this is Moving Mad in Medicine, a podcast about working in a system that demands excellence, but rarely offers softness. Here we talk about the pressure, the ambition, the doubt, the quiet anger, the chaos, the relationships, and the questions we are not trained to ask out loud. This podcast is honest and reflective. Sometimes it is funny, and other times it is uncomfortable. If you're in medicine and you've ever thought of leaving it or reshaping it, or maybe just surviving it, come with me and let's talk. Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Moving Mad in Medicine. With me is a returning guest, one of our favorite guests.
Oh, I'm your favorites. Hi everyone, my name is Shalom. I am a house officer currently in the Department of ONG.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you for being on the show again.
Thank you for having me again.
You're welcome. So, how have you been?
Very good. Life is good.
Really? Sounds like a lie. Life is good. Okay, that's
It's
great.
okay,
Things are improving.
I can't complain.
Okay, great. Good to know that. For me, even if you did not ask me.
Oh my, I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
Please, how have you been?
I'm okay. I'm not doing bad at all. Psychologically, I'm great.
Oh my god, I love that for you.
Thank you. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about word round escapades. Is escapade the right word?
I guess.
I guess. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the various experiences that happen during word rounds. Word rounds are like it goes word rounds. No, it's not like that. It's not as if you're turning around in the word. But sometimes you get to turn around, you get to run around the word. Yeah, okay, so for word rounds is the part of clinical medicine where you get to review all your patients, all your inpatients. And let's say you have like 10 patients on admission. Ward rounds usually done in the mornings, like more often than not, it's done in the mornings. Everybody goes. So there are different cadres of ward rounds. Could be just the house officers, could be registrars, could be senior registrars, could be consultants. Then there are grand ward rounds where it involves professors, everybody, the kings and queens. Yeah, so everybody gets to go from bed to bed. You review every single patient from their complaints, their treatments, their vital signs,
Right.
their improvements, their deteriorations. You make corrections, you review. You just see the patient thoroughly again and modify your plan if need be, or continue what you're doing for the patient if need be, or even discharge the patient. So ward rounds where you go bed to bed to see all your patients. So it's quite a tedious task, right? And it could be fun. It's an avenue for people to learn. We're always learning.
Yeah.
Could be an avenue for humiliation.
It could be.
Yeah. It's just like, it's like military. It's like when you're doing inspection, right? But the thing is, you're both inspecting the patient and the people that are training, if you're in a training center.
Yeah.
So okay. So Shalom, what was your first time in a ward round like
Oh.
as a doctor?
Okay. Oh my.
You can start from med school, anyway. The etiology, pathophysiology of your ward rounds.
Please. My first time in one rounds as a student was very, very funny. In fact, I didn't even realize that we had ward rounds at that point.
Yeah.
So on my very first, that was obviously 400 level.
Okay.
After your exams, this pair like all of us in groups. My group left without me. So the senior registrar at the time, it was internal medicine, Boston cardiology. He and I are friends now, by the way.
I see.
My very first whole round, he was like, I know this to do like head count. I'm like, oh, you are not complete. Where's the other person? They're like, oh, she was in blah blah blah. Please call her. No, that we do. they'll say, "Oh, give me, I want to talk to the person." So he took the phone from student. "Hello, this is blah blah blah. Where are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm still in class." "What are you doing in class?" And then doing what round? After he finished, I was like, "Oh." In fact, I side-eyed the rest of my group members from that day, because why would you leave me? Anyway,
How were you not aware that there was the word round?
honestly, I don't know. In medical school, I low-key lived under a rock.
Really?
Especially that first.
Every new episode, I'm learning new things about you.
I lived under a rock. That's what I was saying. But if you think I'm depressed now, you should have seen me in medical school.
I'm so sorry.
Anyway, my first ward rounds as a house officer wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Actually, it was actually nice. I worked with really good people in my first posting.
Okay.
Some.
Great.
Yeah.
Good to know that.
It wasn't terrible.
All right. Good. That sounds like a fair one. You made up for your days of woes in med school. So, have you ever had like moments in ward rounds where you're really pressured?
Yeah. Yes, every single consultant ward round. I want to say in every single department, but I'm like, except for surgery. Surgery was actually very chill. But every single consultant ward rounds in house job, there's like a certain pressure that comes with it. Obviously, you have to do pre-consultant summary for all the patients, and sometimes they're very got internal medicine. They loved elaborate consultant summaries. Like you have to say everything from the beginning, say from day one till like present day, everything that's happened from top to bottom. Yes, but fun, but plenty pressure.
Fair enough. I don't know if ward rounds really ever made me feel pressured, Sha.
Really?
Yeah. The only time I almost felt pressured, but I did feel pressured. Let me not say almost. That would give myself too much hand. Was in my last posting when I was in cardiology.
Okay.
And for like the first 6 weeks or so, there was no registrar. So it was just senior registrars and then skip to house officers. So whenever we have new admissions, we would be the ones to first collect the patient, like first see the patient and present to the consultant. So it's only when we get to a roadblock that the senior registrar will now pick it up from there. So that was the only time I felt some kind of pressure. Otherwise, on the background, I know that I'm a house officer. I cannot do registrar or senior registrar things.
Yeah.
So if for any reason I falter, it would be that is actually the end of my rope. I cannot keep myself.
Yeah.
And so I don't usually feel pressured. The only time I will feel pressured is if they ask me, maybe there was a plan that was supposed to be carried out the previous day, and I know that it was not done because I did not do it, which is kind of rare. It's one thing to prescribe a medication or fill out an investigation form for a patient. It's another thing for them to not do it.
Right.
So I cannot keep myself. If I tell you to do something, not do it, I'm sorry, you didn't do it. She didn't do it.
Oh. This one is O&G is different though.
I did O&G. Okay, you know what? I think we're working under different consultants. That's why my consultants were really not problematic at all.
Yeah, I've heard stories.
Yeah, they were kind. You know, there's one consultant that will come and fist bump everybody first before we now start. Yeah, so he was the first person that was like, let me tell you how to fill investigation forms. Mind you, I filled investigation forms, but he was just trying to like teach. He would come into theater and like fist bump everybody. Like it was kind. Yeah, it was really kind.
I've never had that.
And he does not believe in humiliating people. Like they don't humiliate you in word round. If you mess up, the team I did O&G in, if you mess up in word round, you really, really messed up. Like it was your fault because they're not really problematic at all. That's the kind of team I was in.
Wow. No, this is actually so sad because there was like one instance recently. That's the reason why I got my first extra call, by the way.
You just the pack extra call. Oh God.
My first ever punishment in-house job. Apparently they had told like the house officers previously before me about like treatment updates. Okay. Since I joined that O&G team, have not seen anybody updating any treatments.
Okay.
So I thought, I'm like, okay, maybe in this unit they don't take it as seriously. But nobody informed me that it was actually as serious. So when the SRA came, he was like, why don't these patients have treatment updates? He asked me. Obviously, I'm the newest house
And you were
officer, the
new.
youngest house officer in the unit. Why don't these patients have treatment update? I was silent, mute. Ask the second person, silent, mute. Ask the third person, which they actually told about the treatment update thing. She was like, then he was like, okay, all of you, you are going to present yourself for extra call today. See me thinking they're going to spare me as part, you know, lie. They told me I should join the call that they've said it previously. And it's my fault if I did not like inquire basically about the whole
So how are you supposed to
thing.
inquire for what you don't know about?
I did the extra call. I'm like, now this my my first week. That's so ONG1 start. Anyway,
Oh my god, this is crazy.
well, this one that you're saying that your unit is not, man, I can't relate though.
That was a sad one. Very sad experience. There are some annoying things that happen in ward rounds where you are probably presenting a case or you are asked a question, whatnot, and you say something that is that does not align.
I've had a few of those.
Yes. Well, it's fine. Everybody does. Everybody absolutely does. There's this thing that used to pain me. Let me just express myself with when people laugh. Honestly, some interactions are so funny that you just have to laugh. Maybe they ask you a question, you talk off point, you answer off point, or the way you answer is funny. I don't mind. Now, if a consultant says something that makes people laugh at you, if senior registrar laughs, no yawa. Because there's a level you get to in medicine where some rookie responses are so hilarious to you. And I understand that. Registrar laughs, no problem. House officer, you can laugh. I don't care. I can be a clown, no problem. Med student self, if you like laugh, no yawa. Do you know the one that pains me? When the patient laughs. As a patient, why are you laughing? Do you know what they asked me? Like, they move correct cardiology stuff like this. Patient go laugh. That was how there was a patient that, this one was not even cardio. There was a patient that had a hand ulcer. She's diabetic. So they requested for an imaging. Mind you, I'm not the one that collected this patient. We're two house officers. I'm not the one that collected this patient. I was not the one doing investigate. Nothing, because we split patients amongst ourselves. So as we were doing the ward round now, because of the house scan, everywhere, all points me, bam. I don't know that because by my hairstyle. I don't know. He just asked me, he didn't even say why did they record. He said, what are the findings in the X-ray film? Luckily for me, I just looked at the X-ray report. I didn't look at the X-ray. I looked at the X-ray report like the previous day. And there was no significant finding. Apparently, the hand was good. So I said the X-ray finding was normal. He said, no. What are you expected to find in diabetic hand ulcer? Bro,
On X-ray?
the thing just threw me away. I just remembered, I said, oh, okay. I just said, okay, because you know that some of them will not affect the bone. And I said, I forgot what I said. I said there will be osteolytic lesions or whatnot. Now you want consultant come they laugh. And then an SR now whispered that there will be osteomyelitis. So now I remember that in osteomyelitis, there's all this sequestration. I just heard osteomyelitis, and I said, okay, there can be sequestration. There can be involucrum. The consultant was, you know, when consultant is not impressed that you did not flop, you know, that kind of, I don't really know. He now said, is that the only thing? So it's only bone you see on X-ray. It's the only bone you see on X-ray. And trust me, I was never expecting to be asked questions on that patient. I was not even close to the man when he asked. So he now said, what about the soft tissues? Won't you see soft tissue? And he was just talking, the patient started laughing. I said, see this mama when no fit control. This mama when no fit control her blood sugar. Now she they laugh me. The thing used to bust my brain when if you knew the stuff that much, why are you on this bed? It never makes sense to me that a patient is laughing at you because of your stuff. Never. Anyway, that was one of the weird stuff for me in ward rounds.
Okay. But I think I have another one. You know when, like, in your, maybe you admitted the patient like previous call,
Yeah.
right? And you've seen the patient. So the next day, obviously, your consultants are coming to do attempt to do rounds.
Yeah.
You've carried the patient's folder and everything. You have gotten to the patient's bed, but you see that the bed is empty. But you still want to talk. Because they ask you where the patient they go ask nurse, oh, patient has absconded. And the patient signed again. So you're like, And then because looking at you, SR is looking at you.
That means you did not
Yep.
see the patient in the morning.
Exactly.
What about the ones that die? God have mercy. God have mercy. You know.
They're like, I don't understand. This is the patient this morning, but you don't even know. You don't know how. You cannot lie, obviously. So you're like, no. And then that's when the question will start. Like, why did you see the patient this morning? Blah 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 blah. Did you give drugs? Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Very
I
embarrassing.
used to see things. No.
No, actually, or when okay, maybe like during rounds, they just ask you randomly to examine like a like a patient. I remember this one time. This was like me as a medical student. They told me to examine this patient, and obviously it was a full cardiology examination. So it don't turn like OSCE exam, basically. So as I was examining, time for auscultation, I want the stethoscope the wrong. I was busy telling the person, oh yeah, I heard S3.
You say you heard everything.
Yes. He said, let me see your stethoscope. when I said, you're like, oh yeah, look at the stethoscope. Is this the right way to be here?
Jesus.
I'm like, oh, you're wearing it the wrong way. How you want to take here the S3?
Oh dear. So a lot of things happen in ward rounds.
God.
Yeah.
So many.
So many very ridiculous things happen in ward rounds. The one I don't really like is when they're like correcting you and it's so loud. And even other patients from other beds
are hearing.
Watching and hearing. And do you know there was a time that we did a round like that? We're two house officers. So after because of the way the consultant was referring to the senior registrars, like he even if you were not a part of the team, you know that they've segregated us based on how much you know and what level you are in. There's no problem. It happens. We are where you are at that point. So immediately after the rounds like this, a patient had blood samples that needed to be taken or something like that. The man is unconscious. This patient relative was, do you know what she said? She said, last born doctors. Hey, you are the last bones. Oh yeah, come and collect blood.
Jesus, not last born doctors.
I'm like, are you for real? Can this get any worse?
No way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she thought it was going to be funny, but neither of us laughed. We just straight faced addressed the matter and did what we're meant to do.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You know when you've clicked the patient, and sometimes when you're clicking, so I think sometimes patients need to be frustrated.
Yeah.
Like with the whole obviously coming
Repeat questions.
So if you've asked them, they don't want to answer again. Everybody is just tired, blah blah blah. And then you finished your clicking, you're not presenting the patient because your consultant is saying the patient, and then like new symptoms are coming up.
Yeah.
And then they're looking back at you like, why didn't you say this one when you were presenting the case? She didn't tell me that in the beginning. Obviously, for some odd reason, patients always want to say all the things that have happened to them when they see like a consultant or someone senior to you. They're like, oh, I had this how many years ago? Meanwhile, your past medical history is not contributory.
Do you know that
it's not contributory? Oh,
I don't know. It can also go reverse. But this specific one, she kept saying she wants to go home, and we did weekend ward cover. I'm like, sis, can you just chill? Let them review you again. This is somebody that was treated for pulmonary embolism. Oh, that was in the ICU for a long time. When she finally left the ICU, she was now like in her mind, she's now better. She wanted to go home so bad. So I was like, when we do consultant round, you can imply that you want to go home and let's see what will happen.
Yeah.
throughout the round, though, they were at that bedside moving all the internal medicine stuff. She didn't say anything. As soon as they went to the next bed, she said, hey, can I go home today? I was so pissed. I was so pissed. I was like, did you see those people that were here for how many minutes? You did not ask them. You're asking me again. No, some people are really weird. For you, is there any hack you have that helps your word rounds to be better?
Honestly, the only thing that helps your, in fact, I don't know. I feel like this is. Let me actually think about this question, because I feel like this is dependent on the unit that you're in, or the department that you're in.
Yeah.
For one, for it to make first hack to make word rounds better is to have somebody that has sense. If you're working with somebody that has sense, things will automatically
will be great.
try to go well for you. If you're working with weird people, sorry you. because it's somehow. Secondly, honestly, whether your organization, honestly, you just have to arrange things in your head. If maybe you did a call, stress was too much, blah blah blah, try to be as organized as possible and certain things, because honestly, if you're working, in fact, being a house officer, it's like 100 things happening
at the same time.
Yes, in like everything is happening too fast, mind you, and at the same time. So if you're not organized, if you don't try to be organized, man, you will spend years after. In fact, you spend years after your rounds doing post rounds. So yes, be organized. What else? What other hacks do I have?
I think you should not take things personally.
During word round.
Yes, if you say something that you think is not any snide remark or whatever, don't take it personal. I learned this thing like in the latter part of med school, because I used to take comments personal before. Like when someone says something that I feel like the person is mean, the person hates me, this and that. The truth is, some people are trained in such bad ways that they are desensitized. They don't even know that what they are doing does not make sense. So they may not hate you, but they're just doing what they know to do. So don't take it personal. Just
that's a good one. Actually, very true.
Then always have a plain sheet of paper that you can write out things, just scribble things. For me, if we have like 6 patients now, I write the patient's name, write the bed number. Sometimes I get to write the diagnosis underneath it, just put it in paper. So if you get to the bed, okay, male bed 6, I just look at it, remember the name, remember the diagnosis. That alone can just ease your life. So you can even tick out the ones you've seen, the ones you've not seen.
That's where the organization stuff comes from. My notes always came in handy in places where like there were too many patients and you're trying to like keep up. You write out like every single thing about the patient in your notes, and then if you're doing post rounds, if you're the only house officer in the unit and you're doing post rounds, obviously it's slower than usual. So if you finish with one patient, you can
tick it off. You know that you're done with that person.
Like every single thing, you're not coming back again to do anything. So being organized, very important too.
That's cool. I guess that's it for word rounds. I don't know. Anything else for word rounds? Word rounds can be word rounds. Let me just ask one last one. Word rounds versus clinics, which one do you prefer?
Word rounds.
You prefer word rounds?
I do. I actually do. I don't mind the standing for long periods of time.
Well,
I don't mind.
Actually,
I actually prefer word rounds.
Well,
you prefer clinic?
You know what? I prefer word rounds.
Fair.
Word rounds is dynamic. You see things, you move, you act, you talk. Clinic, there's this repetition.
Right?
Is this drudgery they call that word? Like the thing it's just there. It's there.
This repetition thing that's pediatrics as a whole.
Oh my god.
Pediatrics clinic. Oh my god, the most repetitive. You know when you're doing your clinic posting is like every day at the same. So you're seeing the same cases.
Oh, you sound like a broken radio.
Exactly.
Like
the whole clinic posting is actually very, very tiring.
That was all good. Thank you so much for this episode.
Thank you
Yeah.
for having me again.
You're most welcome.
Oh my god, I
again.
love it here.
Right. I like that I have you here, honestly. So I guess we'll see some other time.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody. Try not to move mad in word rounds. And like, subscribe, share, leave your comments. Bye.
Bye.